Waiting on the stream to boot up. Let's see when people start joining. We'll start getting into battles, answering fan questions, hanging out, all that good stuff. Let me know if y'all can hear me, of course. That's the beginning of the stream. Shout out to everyone that subscribed, man. We hit 18K last night. That shit was lit. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day so far. What's up, Godspeed? Like I said, this is a 18K stream special, so we're gonna be hanging out with fans, answering questions, all that stuff. It's gonna be a blast. Again, shout out to all the recent subscribers that have helped me reach this point. Most especially, shout out to all the day one subscribers and early subscribers that help maintain the fan base. The Legion of Goons are here. What's up, Sherm? My boy Dan. Legend in my server. If you haven't joined my server, make sure to do so, man. We have a blast there. Appreciate you. Shout out to Reality Spine, member of the coffee shop. Go sub to him if you haven't already. Gives great scaling for mythology. Yeah, y'all can ask lore questions, scaling questions, and battles. I actually have a few battles in my server. We call them battle shorts, where I'm going to start doing YouTube shorts on battles. And, like, just basically quick battles I might not ever get a chance to really address. And so, these battles are listed in my server. I might do a few on the stream. Appreciate you, Warlock. Yeah, it's been a grind to 18K. Hopefully we hit 20K soon. That would be amazing. Yeah, the new Punisher. So we could talk about that. Let's start the stream talking about, modern comics. So if you guys didn't know and didn't see my short I did on it, Punisher got an upgrade. He's literally the Beast incarnate. Now, a lot of people, well, I wouldn't say a lot. There was several. There was that complained about how this was brought forth. They felt it ruined the appeal of Punisher, which is he's just some human badass looking to run fades. But I think the way they went about explaining his nature was really cool. I actually like how Jason Aaron's going about breaking down the lore of the Beast. If you didn't know, the Beast is a part of Hand lore in Marvel, with the Hand being a mystical branch of ninjas who try to perfect and master martial arts to its absolute pinnacle. And they do dabble in the mystic arts. This includes, of course, the Beast. The Beast was made to defile God himself and everything he created. And so, Wally West versus Gojo. Wally West beats the shit out of Gojo. There, I answered that one for you, big dog. Shout out to Battle Shorts. But yeah, so Punisher is basically the Beast incarnate. That is, murder is seen as the purest art, or the first art, in the act of defiling God's creation. And basically, he's the living incarnation of that beast. That, biblical beast, so to speak. And it makes sense, given his predisposition to murder, how good he is, how, ridiculous he is at body bagging people. So, yeah, I actually do like what they've done with Modern Punisher. Quick question. Oh, by the way, I have Sonic content coming. I have a Shadow video coming. And then I'll have scaling done over on Coffee Shop. Crazy. We're going to be breaking grounds on my channel doing that. Appreciate the congratulations. Yeah, appreciate you. Shout out to Flash. Boys, legend in my server as well. Been there since for a very long time. What do you think about Ares being in the new Punisher storyline? I don't have an issue with Punisher and Ares being tied together, given that Punisher is like known as the soldier, like the killer in combat, the warrior. Ares obviously the god of war. Definitely not surprised by that dynamic being brought into play. Now, let me see. Yeah, the Sonic content was paid for. Y'all know I wasn't gonna break that barrier without some incentive. That was purchased. I can confirm that. Let me pull up the battle shorts. I got a few for y'all. Alright. Dragon Ball Heroes Goku versus Supergirl. Despite Goku having a little bit higher scaling in this franchise, I don't see him standing up to the likes of a Supergirl, who literally threatened to beat the shit out of a monitor when he popped up. Literally, she can race across infinite space instantly to a spot 200 years in the future. Exactly, like that's how fast her brain processes. Like, she does impossible shit. I think Supergirl beats a lot of people. I think she'd mug this Goku. Next in the battle shorts, again, if you want to add to the battle shorts to get them on my new shorts starting soon as well, join the Discord server and add them. But anyways, next we have Lobo versus Dante from Devil's May Cry. I think in a narrative battle, this is alive, by the way, Ezekiel. Shout out to Ezekiel. Didn't know this was a live jobber moment. But anyways, getting back to this Lobo versus Dante. These two in a narrative battle, I think, would be a lot closer. However, in a versus battle, especially with recent events in DC Comics, I think Lobo would beat the shit out of Dante. Simply just scales too high. The fact he soloed Mr. Mixie's dimension is absolutely nuts. So yeah, I got Lobo there. Could Tony Stark use the Speed Force? Yep. Zeke, big fucking live activity. You know the vibes. Speed Force, Tony. Could Tony Stark utilize the Speed Force in any fashion if he crossed over? That was one of the questions. I think he could, given he's created stuff to go against the likes of Celestials, and the fact that he literally has made stuff and calculated items to go against the Phoenix Force. Just creating suits like that, I think a concept like the Speed Force, it would be difficult, but I think he could eventually make a suit like that. Next, Xeno Goku versus Spawn. Now, if this is early Spawn, obviously Goku washes. Eventually, the later versions of Spawn that get several times stronger, including the likes of Hellord and all that, they would beat Xeno Goku. But base Spawn, before Crazy Amps, I think loses to Goku, but the other forms win. Next, there was a lot of Xeno Goku requests in my battle shorts. Xeno Goku versus Archie Sonic. Now, I haven't done a full in-depth on Sonic yet, but I have seen the scaling before, and I do feel comfortable in saying I'm pretty sure the lore, especially for Archie, gets to Outer, or has arguments for Outer, so I think he actually would win and just scale with stats too high. Doomslayer versus Kratos. Controversial one. I think there's arguments for Doomslayer just outscaling, blatantly outscaling Kratos at his peak versus peak. However, obviously Kratos has way better hacks, and if you believe their AP to be relative or their stats relative, Kratos would wash him if they're even somewhat close in stats. But if you believe the higher arguments for Doomslayer, I think Doomslayer would win. Alright, let's start looking at some fan questions from the live. A tournament of power featuring Marvel, DC, Dragon Ball, Naruto, Bleach. I think the only way to do that is to take characters from the weakest verse and then establish characters along that route. So let's say we did Naruto would be the weakest verse there. Let's say Naruto and Sasuke are in the Tournament of Power. We would have to go with characters that could like fight them in that tier. Fat Cobra from Marvel. Huh. If you don't think Fat Cobra would box up Naruto or Sasuke, you're wildin'. Fat Cobra's the man. I just wanted to sneak in some Fat Cobra propaganda. Slayer died and reincarnated in hell. Yeah, obviously. I'm just saying, like, if you take the higher scaling for Slayer and apply it, yeah, he'd win. Why do you think Marvel and DC ultimately used the Christian Jewish themes for their highest powers? I think this is probably strictly due to popularity. When establishing their mythos, cosmology, or the strength, I think the writers probably, at least subconsciously, feel like such a predominantly popular religion among the Western audience, which would be Christianity, it would most likely be the easiest structure to introduce for their mythos and for how strong they are. So I think it's just their idea that it's a lot easier for the reader to understand or know what they're talking about. But then again, Superman's more recognizable than Jesus now, so I'm not sure. It gets real out here. Yo, so someone says Monkey King versus Marvel Comics. Fun fact, I've completely forgot about this. Like, I legit didn't remember. Sun Wukong, the Monkey King's in Marvel Comics. I just read the Fear Itself tie-in comic in which he was stuck in hell and he was trying to fight Sen Amped. Who? I think it was Enchantress. Might be wrong, but I think it was Enchantress. And he was like, "Yo, if you're not Buddha, we could throw hands." And he did kind of get ran up on. But yeah, nah, he was he's in Marvel Comics. I thought that was interesting. Would you bring back the Who Can Beat series? I would on the coffee shop. One Piece I'm getting into because I'm doing a Blackbeard video. A Blackbeard Goon video. Chris Redfield versus Arkham Batman from the games. That's actually a pretty good fight. Chris Redfield's a Chad. I think Batman's gear would be too much, though. I think Batman overwhelms him with the arsenal. Guts Goon video is coming soon. Blade versus Captain America? Probably Blade. We know, like, Batman, even in the games, has, like, easily gone toe-to-toe against a massively amped Bane, Killer Croc, Solomon Grundy, like, characters like that. So I do think he has the physical stats to go toe-to-toe with Chris. I don't think Chris's gear would be enough. Garrus from Mortal Kombat or Doomsday? I think Doomsday would take him down. Doomsday outright just stats him. So that's a rough night for Garrus. I mean, he is pretty strong. Hold on, one of my homeboys texted me. Gotta respond for the culture. If Batman got invited to the Tournament of Power and he's allowed to use gadgets, he's definitely bringing a bunch of bullshit. Alright. Back to the fan. By the way, do y'all want me to bring any coffee shop members on the live to chat? Let me know. Let's see. Let me see if there's any good. MCU Scarlet Witch versus Infinity Ultron. I think Infinity Ultron would take her. Probably overwhelm her too fast. Is there any coffee shop members in the live chat that wants to hop and call? Yo, so are there any Warhammer 40k fans in the chat? If so, where do I start? If we have, I kind of want to get into Warhammer, but I know it's just such a broad it's such a broad scope. I always thought Star Wars characters was town level to continent level, but I never knew Star Wars characters were multi-planetary to galaxy level, so thanks. Obviously, higher level characters can get higher than that. They will. I'm actually planning on doing, if you didn't know, if you're not subbed to my second channel, the coffee shop, I'm doing a series, an ongoing series where I explore mythologies, not mythologies, cosmologies throughout fiction. Just did classic Marvel, just did classic DC. I'll be comparing them soon. But next cosmology I'm doing is Star Wars. I'm looking forward to doing that. I did reveal my lineup of it, like my breakdown in my server, but the actual cosmology video I'll be dropping soon. So, question for everybody. I'm hosting a Cthulhu D&D in my server tonight. How many players should I body? There's 6 playing. How many should I send to the morgue first session? Y'all know it gets shiesty in the damn Cthulhu mythos, so let me know. Who gets sent to the Shadow Realm? Decide the fate of my members. I'm giving you all godlike powers right now. Alright, so there's 6 and all of them. Oh my god, we have a demon among us. Mike is a demon. All 6 by Jonathan. What if my people are ruthless? Oh my god. 5 or 6. Good lord. All 6, yep. It's going to be a rough night in the server. I tell y'all what, you know what? I don't know about killing everybody in the first session. That might be rough. But everybody be on their P's and Q's. I'll say that. I'll definitely catch a body as the host in a Cthulhu D&D. If y'all want to watch that tonight, we're doing it in the server. We'll be doing that at 8 p.m. Three to scare the others. That is a humble number. It's going to be a wild story. So, they could definitely get bodied. Yo, did y'all see Chuck's new Iron Man video? What'd y'all think? I thought it was based, obviously. I helped with it, so it was based. Saitama versus Aizen. Saitama's got to show a little more extent of resistances before I say he could beat someone like Aizen. Oh no, a bot! Damn bots. Banished by my power. Prep time Iron Man trumps prep time Batman. If we're talking about suit making, it can get a little interesting. I'm just saying. Raven vs. Spawn. Spawn. The one below all versus Great Evil Beast. Great Evil Beast technically has more showings, so on surface I'd go GEB. Oh, I got a Kenshiro video coming out this week. You would start with the Warhammer games? YouTube bots are really bad now. Like, YouTube bots pop up everywhere. On the smaller channels, I've noticed, like, their comments are way more prevalent. Uncle Sam versus God Emperor Doom. Uncle Sam, yo. Don't at me. Big dog. Uncle Samsies. Adesanya versus Canyoneer. I think Adesanya is too fast. I think he's going to fight him from range and just pick him apart. Actually, you know what? The bots are weird on bigger channels. I feel like the bots on the bigger channels only respond to comments a lot more than actually straight up commenting. Anakin Skywalker versus Anakin Solo. Skywalker would win. Solo didn't live long enough, unfortunately. Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler. Right now, Michael Chandler would just double leg him. Double leg blast. It'd be rough. You know what's crazy? For how god tier Moist Critical is, I didn't see his channel until a few months ago. That's how dumb I am when it comes to YouTube. I don't really be following a lot of YouTube channels. Recently, you know what I've been watching on YouTube? Prison fights. They're funny as shit. Like, some of these prison fights are hilarious. Like, they were so avoidable, but they just do stupid shit. Like, bro, I saw someone get beat the fuck up over some tater tots. That shit was hilarious. I was like, bro, just give him the tots. Napoleon, damn. Alright. Sorry for that rant. I might rant because it's a live stream and that's what we do. 60 days in, I was watching some of those highlights, bro. That shit's hilarious to me. Impractical Jokers, yeah, obviously that's pretty funny. I haven't watched that in years, though. Strongest Santa in Fiction. I thought I did a video on that, but DC. Can EU Luke throw hands with any version of Ghost Rider? Yeah. Obviously, several forms of Ghost Rider would literally need Zarathos to keep up with him. What's up, Magna? Nice to see you there. Very good Bleach scaler. Nate Diaz versus Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland at this point. Kevin Holland's like fought Thiago Santos on short notice. He could definitely take hits from Nate Diaz. Like, relax. Let's see. Let's look for some good battles in the chat. Watch Dogs versus John Wick. I don't know that much about Watch Dogs. Never really got into it. I know he's a really good hacker. Don't think he's a crazy fighter, is he? I would imagine Wick beats him in a fight anyways. Khabib versus Charles. I got Charles. Now what? Oh. I think Spawn claps for Evan. Abeloth versus DBS. Full-powered Abeloth should solo DBS pretty comfortably. Where is Voldigode from? Don't think I know that character. Name's not ringing a bell. I think Colby would beat the shit out of Dustin. Just wrestle him. I haven't seen the Fate franchise. If someone purchases Fate videos, I'll go peep it though. Aiden is a bullet timer and claps groups of people who are ex-special ops. Should be faster then, but I probably still got Wick in the skill department. You could argue Abeloth, Infinite, Dimensional or Hyperversal, or Outer at her peak. Given she should scale above the trans-dimensional infinite hyperspace. You'll see in my upcoming video. Excited for that. I don't know what Demon King's Academy is. Bigfoot versus the Loch Ness Monster. I would hope the Loch Ness Monster would clutch that W. I would certainly hope so. Will I ever do Hunter x Hunter content? No, because that's the series that made the author Rusty into Yu Yu. We are boycotting. If it was purchased, I would though, because I'm a whore like that. Bodied. Do you think Spider-Man dodging light speed attacks is an outlier or legit scaling? Well, he's done it hundreds of times, so yeah, it's legit. Talia Al Ghul versus Selena Kyle. I probably got Catwoman. Apocalypse versus Black Adam. Ooh. Current Black Adam probably wins. Most cases, I'd side with Apocalypse, though. Taskmaster versus Midnighter. Midnighter stomps. How do you know so much about scaling? I read the material. Super Shenron versus Full Effect Galactic. Stop. Yeah, that's my dog in the back playing with something. Hold on. Yeah, sorry about that. Was handling that. Comp Hulk versus Comp Kenpachi. Comp Hulk stomps. Would Goku be top 100 in Marvel? Yeah, should be. DC, same. Should be. I mean, technically, you could probably find really obscure, super strong characters to put over them that could eventually get them out of the top 100. But for, like, the popular ones, yeah. Attack of the Clones, Anakin versus Prime Naruto. Naruto. Is Kuros Ice? If so, yeah, me and Ice are cool. I haven't talked to him in a while. It's lagging for you? Am I lagging for y'all? Let me know. Alright, I'm good? Okay. If Lady Shiva was in Marvel, do you think she'd be top 10 martial artist? Maybe. The martial artists in Marvel are extreme. I've been doing a lot of research on the immortal weapons and mystic realms, mystic martial arts realms as well. It's ridiculous. Absolutely crazy. Waiting for someone to purchase the Johnny Gat video. I'll do a Johnny Gat video. I loved Saints Row 2. 6 Pass Naruto versus Saiyan Saga Vegeta. Ooh, Vegeta has... Saiyan Saga would be first saga, right? First time we see Vegeta, easily star level. He'd be a tough out. I think he's outstats him, but 6 Pass has a lot of hacks, the clones. Depends on if he can take down Vegeta fast enough before he actually uses his full power. I actually have a Uchiha clan versus Skywalker family battle coming soon. Nico Bellic versus Trevor Phillips GTA. I got Trevor Phillips. I thought it was kind of obvious just based on how he easily... Who'd he kill? Johnny? Trevor did? Just smoked Johnny's pack, like, immediately. I think with that, like, it showed he was kind of beyond the previous generation. I think Trevor would take it. Ridiculous in gunfights. Lucifer's literally hung out in the Overvoid, so that's pretty easy to argue. Not to mention the Overvoid's not actually really a character, so it'd be kind of weird to be argue like, is someone stronger than that? Wukong versus Kratos, I'm actually going to do that battle. Yeah, I work with Chuck on UU as well. Did he just drop? Did he drop the UU vid yet? Noel versus Kratos. I got Noel. He didn't drop it yet. He'll be dropping it at some time. I know what Demon Slayer is, and I know what it's about, but I haven't actually watched it yet. Kingpin versus Luther Strode. Unfortunately, Kingpin just outstats him. Stats in Luther Strode series isn't actually that crazy. It's just a super dope story. Midnighter versus Wolverine, I got Midnighter. Kratos versus Ashura, I got Kratos. Unless you use outer Ashura scaling. Moon Knight versus Azrael, I have Moon Knight. I think Moon Knight has way better gear. Sentry versus Thanos, I got Thanos. Dark Souls protagonist versus Skyrim protagonist. I haven't gotten that deep into Dark Souls, but from what I do know, I don't think he can contend with Dovahkiin. I don't see that happening. Can the most powerful beings from Star Wars contend with some of the strongest people? They can contend with some of like the baseline outer. Batman versus Daredevil, probably Batman. Tough fight though. Job Pechua versus Living Job Unal. Ooh. Who would try to lose the fight faster? That's the real question. In this series, Yusuke should beat Raditz. Didn't Pralea lose to something kind of dumb? Let's see. Eddie Alvarez versus top 5 at lightweight. Most beat current Eddie, obviously. Do you think Cassandra Cain would beat Captain America in hand-to-hand? No. No. Yeah, I have seen some of the scaling for high-end Call of Duty Zombies. I haven't scaled World of Darkness. Not yet, at least. I haven't read current Dr. Fate. Ben 10 versus Legion. Legion should outscale him. Ash Williams versus Dead Space. I haven't done Dead Space before. Haven't researched it. So I couldn't tell you, but that's interesting. Akuma versus Spawn. Higher end Akuma scaling actually makes it interesting, but I got Spawn in the end with higher versions. Baki versus Oma. Haven't read enough about Baki. Yet, at least. Let's see. Choji versus Snorlax. I'd like to think Snorlax wins, but I don't know Snorlax scaling. Batman, Spider-Man, who's a better character? I prefer Batman, but a lot of people would probably say Spider-Man. Batman's taking hits from a lot of people that weren't holding back and survived. I think he could take a hit from Spider-Man. By the way, if you haven't joined my Discord server, definitely do so. Especially if you want to see me body bag some of the Cthulhu players tonight in their Cthulhu Mythos D&D. Check that out. I love hanging out with the members in the server. Shameless plug. How far does Garu get in the MCU? Up to like abstracts and stuff. Yeah, I'm doing a Star Wars D&D right now. I would do Pokemon scaling for the purchase, yeah. But yo, guys, I'm actually going to head out for a bit, but I'll probably pop on later. And I'm going to try to get y'all a video soon before the D&D. So definitely stay tuned for that. Maybe I'll get y'all a quick Fat Cobra video. But yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for 18K. Thank you for tuning in to the stream. I think I'll do a Fat Cobra Best Martial Artist in Marvel Explained. Maybe I'll do that today for a Goon Explains video. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. It's been your boy Jobbers and Goons, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.